Hi, everybody. So I just wanted to comment on the active reading strategies that I had you read through. I think that the previewing, the first step of previewing a text is really, really important. And as a student, I did not do that. And I think it's really important just because if you preview a text and you kind of skim through it, and you can find out a system that works for you. You don't have to do every step that they recommend on the handout that I gave you. But previewing just gives you a sense of what's coming up in the reading, and then you can absorb the reading more quickly when you actually go through and read the entire thing. And I think that's going to be a really effective reading strategy for the courses where you're reading a textbook where they've got lots of subheadings and images and graphs and charts and whatever. If you kind of take a minute to absorb how the chapter is organized and you have a sense of what kind of information is coming up, you're going to get a lot more out of it. And then as far as, how in the handout there were two sections, one on annotation. Oh, wait, I forgot to say about previewing. Okay. The other thing I want to say about previewing is that it's a great skill for when you didn't have time to read. Okay. And I don't condone not doing your reading in college, but everybody gets behind. Everybody has those days where you're just like, oh, I didn't do this. And you show up to class. And if you can just preview the text, you will have a sense of what the reading was about, and you're going to be able to absorb more from the lecture or from the discussion that's going to go on of that reading. You might actually be able to ask a question or respond to something's that is said during the discussion of the reading. So it is to your benefit to use previewing as sort of a college survival skill when you cannot make it through all of that reading. And then, so back to the handout, talked about annotation, and then it talked about taking notes separately in a binder, and just figure out what works for you. I know so many students are renting their textbooks or they're using online versions, so then taking notes makes sense. Use sticky notes to keep annotations in a book that you don't want to write in. I myself generally own the books that I'm reading and I write all over them. And I think that step of taking notes as you go is really, really important for your cognitive processing of the reading. And those notes should be in your own words. Don't just regurgitate phrases from the reading in your annotations or your notes. Make yourself stop and take a minute to kind of put it into your own words. Those could be questions. It could just be you're taking notes for different topics that are covered. Experiment with different things in your annotations and figure out what works. And then, I think that last step of reviewing the whole thing again is really going to solidify how all the different pieces connected. So once you're done, you go back through and you read your notes and you look at any annotations that you've done to sort of process the reading. So one of my goals for you this semester is to experiment with active reading strategies in this course and in all of the courses that you're taking, because developing active reading skills is a really important skill for college and life in general. Okay, so I hope these comments are helpful.